Alright y'all, it's Friday. Thank you to the 5 gazillion people who have contacted me to tell me that Richard Allen has been moved. Alright, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but it's at least 100. Seriously, yes or no? I do know. I didn't decide to jump on live or make a video about it yesterday when I first saw the news. By the way, I saw the news before the news. But no, I thought, you know what, I'm going to sit back, I'm going to see what develops, if anything. And nothing did. But I have done a little bit of research on Wabash Valley Correctional Facility. So let's start at the beginning. For those of you who haven't heard the news, if you've been living under a rock. If you've been following the Delphi case, I'm sure you know already. There's been many people who've done videos and done lives about it. But just in case, Richard Allen was transferred on the, what day is it today? The 8th? Is it the 8th today? I don't know. But anyway, the news came out yesterday, but he'd been transferred the day before from Westville Correctional Facility to Wabash Valley Correctional Facility. So he's still in a prison. It doesn't solve anything. That's my opinion. Why is Richard Allen still in a state prison when he has not been convicted of anything? Let's remember that Cass County, back in June, Cass County Jail said that they would have him. The sheriff said, don't particularly want him, but we can have him and we can look after him. More appropriate housing for him. Now, of course, Westville has been dire for Richard Allen. Richard Allen's rightful attorneys, Rosie and Baldwin, have been saying that Richard's treatment at Westville has been terrible. He'd lost like half of his body weight. He was eating his paperwork. There was these Odinist guards. They admitted that they were wearing Odin patches, although they weren't Odinists. They were Norse, pagan, heathens, whatever they want to call themselves. They were wearing patches in Odin we trust, etc. And it was these 2 guards who were filming Richard's attorney visits. They were being pretty horrible. We've had Robert Baston come out, inmate, saying that Richard was being mistreated. There was someone found dead in their cell recently at Westville, which very much negates the idea that Richard is safer in Westville, because if someone can be found dead in their cell of blunt force trauma, then it's not exactly safe, is it? So we all should be happy. We all should be happy that Richard has been moved from Westville, from under the eyes of those Odinist guards. Well, yes and no. Yes and no. Because Wabash Valley doesn't actually have a very good track record of keeping people safe. Just last month there was a death at Wabash Valley. That was deemed accidental though. 3 years ago there was a murder. I can go back to 2014, I can go back to 2013. More murders in Wabash Valley. I can go back even further than that, but I'm not going to, because it would just get silly. And you might say, well, yeah, prisons are dangerous places. There's going to be people who are out to get people who, you know, rape kids or whatever. And that's true. That's true. No prison is safe. Richard should not be in a prison at all. And I'm going to maintain that until my dying day, or at least until the trial, and we get some kind of resolution to this. Either Richard is convicted fair and square in a fair trial, or he's acquitted. Whichever way, it'll get resolved eventually. Hopefully before I die. Now, there's been lots of speculation on why they've moved in. And, you know, very recently, in October, Judge Frances Seagull said she wasn't going to move him. Denied motion. So why, as the Attorney General, Theodore Rakita, decided to sign this to sign this transfer? Your guess is as good as mine. People have been saying that it's because Rakita's got wind of the rightful attorney is going to be reinstated and the judge is going to be disqualified. I don't know about that. I don't think it means that. I don't know, maybe there's some acknowledgement that maybe Richard's care needs to be moved. Maybe it's just optics that, you know, there's all eyes on Westville. Maybe Westville don't like it. There's a tort claim that's been filed against Westville. So it kind of, you know, it helps in that way. Helps the optics, I guess. But for me, it's a sideways move. It doesn't solve the problems, in my opinion. It's interesting that it's further away. It's further away for his new attorneys, Labrato and Scremin, by quite some distance. They're based in Fort Wayne. Quite some distance. It's closer for Baldwin. So you might say, well, maybe that is a subtle indicator that the rightful attorneys are going to be reinstated. Again, I don't want to say that that's what it means. I don't think it has any bearing. I mean, I might be completely wrong, but I don't think any decision that's going to come from the Supreme Court has got any bearing on what's happened. It may turn out that it is. Maybe completely wrong. Rakita might have got wind that a decision is pending. But if he has, if he's got some kind of foreshadowing of the decision that they're going to make, well, that's bad in itself. I don't know. It's why I didn't make a video yesterday. I didn't just jump on live, because it could well be there's nothing to see here. This is just purely optics, and it's going to end up worse for Richard. It could even be that Rakita knows that Wabash is even worse than Westville. Like, there's more Odinists in Wabash. You know, there's gangs, there's drugs, and blah, 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 just like in any prison. Then they can turn around and say, yeah, but you wanted Alan to be moved, and now look what's happened. Of course, that's just speculation, and that's being a little bit conspiratorial, maybe. Wabash do have a mental health facility. They have a special needs psych unit, so that might be the reason why he's been moved, because prisoners all over Indiana go there if they need specialist treatment. So that could be the reason. And it could be a very good reason why he's been moved. That his mental health has been really bad since his rightful attorneys have been disqualified, and he's got another year to wait for his trial when it should have started in January. Maybe it's that. Maybe his mental health is so bad now that they've been forced to move him. Again, that's just speculation. I watched a documentary about Wabash yesterday. It's a few years old. I'll leave a link to it in the description box. It's about like 47 minutes or something. It's interesting, and they show the inside of the prison. They show the psych unit. It's not a place I'd like to go to, but then again, I suppose no one wants to go to prison, do they? Yeah, some people do. Some people who've been institutionalized since their juvenile years want to stay in prison. So never say never, eh? But I certainly couldn't handle it. Noodle, why are you so filthy? Alright guys, I'm gonna go. About 5 million dogs being naughty. Oi! What are you eating? Gotta go. See you soon. What is you doing? Noodle, look at the state of you. Hey, Clemmy. Noodle, look at the state of you, Noodle. Hello. Yes, that's her. That's her. Hiya, Max. There's Max. There's Clemmy. Hiya, Max. Oh, Bonnie. Noodle doodle. They're all clean. Look at Noodle. Look at Noodle's feet. Terrible.